Welcome, everyone, to Secure Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry, along with Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Secure Private Data. Welcome, Alain.
Thanks. Welcome, Anna, and welcome to our viewer.
All right, so our weekly hack topic is going to be about this phishing campaign that's been targeting thousands of victims, impersonating major brands like FedEx, Microsoft, American Express, and Snapchat domains. They're tricking the victims. They're getting their information. So what can we do to help protect our data out there, Alain? What can we do?
Well, yeah, this is the season now, because if it's not shopping season on Christmas, now it's going to be people traveling. There's also a lot of things happening politically with the midterms. So any kind of information a hacker can get, they're going to trick you. And this was an open redirect, they call it, but there's so many technical ways. The whole thing, and I used to get those too from DHL, or sometimes you have PayPal and a lot of stuff like that. So what happens is when you receive an email, always check who it's from. So if it says FedEx on your phone or your device, hover on that thing, click on that from, and you'll get the real email address. And if it's a strange address, you know it's not FedEx, because unfortunately, email system works that if somebody's smart and they have a decent system, they can make it like, oh, this is my name, my calling card, I'm FedEx. But then behind the calling card, you have the address, which would be the email address. And that's when you can recognize fake or not. Generally speaking, this is where the human brain genius and logic comes in, which no machine can beat so far, is that use your common sense. You know, if you think you're waiting for something from FedEx, or you owe them like $14 for some kind of customs duty, then it could be FedEx. If not, just if you see suspicious, shut it down. Don't even click on the thing. Just delete or put it in your junk folder. That's what I would recommend.
That's great advice, common sense. I got an email from PayPal talking about a recent transaction. So instead of replying, and it did encourage me to call, I first checked that number. It was not the PayPal number. And then I went into my own kind of back end of the PayPal, and I didn't have a transaction like that. So I just left it alone. But I have a feeling that this is going to be happening more and more and more. So we are aware of phishing, and common sense is the best protection. Now, besides this phishing that's happening more and more, let's talk about the Secure platform. It's a private platform, and it's perfect for this volatile political climate that we are living in, and we're about to come into even more because of these midterm elections coming up. There's a lot of issues about our emails, our text messages. So how can we have a confidential and private conversation these days?
Definitely, I'll tell you. And as you tell me that, if you put secure.com on LinkedIn, for example, sometimes people say, go to whatever secure.com in the message, suddenly it tells them that it's like not safe. This is a Microsoft system, obviously. So the reason why I'm telling you, and there's ways to white label it, or whatever they call it, but basically to have your domain cleaned up. The reason why I tell this is that we today have topics that are sensitive to some and not to others, whether it's political, idealistic, and so forth. The one thing for sure is that there is a very big cancel culture out there. The big companies that we all know of do censor. I mean, the other day, Twitter censored the Epic Time. There was such a rage that they uncensored the domain, theepictimes.com. And that's just one of many. So if you have conversations, political, personal, medical, anything, that you want to email or chat with someone, do not use SMS, WhatsApp, your typical open tech email, because all those are being read legally, they're being cataloged, and two things will happen. Your content will be blocked, and also you'll be categorized as maybe a particular type of user, right? This is real. This is not science fiction. So what I would recommend is this. It's like, we've had people that suddenly blasted to 50 people these, I'm going to say, political content or conservative views. And then what does it as it harms our domain, because the Microsoft complains, right? It's Microsoft or Google, and then we're red flagged. So what I recommend people to do is that if you want to talk about anything in the world, whether it's like, you know, the next hamburger you had, all the way to what president you want to vote for, and if you're for this or for that, use Sekur with your friends. So let's say your friend doesn't have Sekur, use Secure Send on the email, use chat by invite on Secure Messenger. If not, if we all talk within the secure system, and it's cheap, and I can give you a promo code SECURE15 to get 15% off, between you and your friends, family, whatever, nobody can look in, because if they all have Secure, there's no red flagging of our domain, obviously. And it's important to know, because there's going to be elections, there's going to be midterm, and both political parties are looking to see what people are thinking. But there's definitely a more one leading political party, obviously, that wants to stay in power. This is true in any kind of election in the world. And they will put all the power they have in their hand to read your content, to manipulate you, to send you emails about stuff. So if you want to discuss anything that is private, I would recommend buy Secure Messenger, have your friends do it, and that will guarantee you that you're all kind of in Switzerland and nobody can subpoena that data. I mean, unless you commit a crime that you're searched by Interpol and you kill people in Switzerland, nobody has the right to subpoena that data. On top of that, whatever you delete is deleted down to bare metal. We don't keep any of it. We don't store any metadata. We don't store your fingerprint or anything like that. We don't even store your log, and your IP address is not even recorded, because we scrape some of it in order to keep your anonymity. We just keep the location, because we have people from all over the world buying Secure, and we want to give them the right currency to buy it in. So it's the most anonymous, the most private, and the most secure communication system you can have. And that's what I would recommend.
Well, there you have it. And that's what's becoming valuable these days, having confidential, private, secure conversations in the form of emailing your most precious data, or a simple conversation about how you view the political climate out there. And it's kind of sad that we've come to this, but luckily there are products like Secure out there to help us keep our data private and secure. So as always, Alain, learning so much from you. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And we certainly hope our viewers are taking in this knowledge and changing their lifestyle when it comes to their data privacy.
Thank you. And I want to add one very last thing, because I don't want people to blast their network with our secure email. That will harm our domain. So if you have a list of people, in fact, we limit to 20 people at a time, because we're not a distribution platform. Make sure you use Secure Send. Okay, go to secure.com, watch the tutorial, or have them buy Secure. And then within Secure people, there's no limit to how many people you can send your material to, articles, etc. We've had this happen, and we have had to shut down these people's account because they're harming our domain. So be smart. You want to have a private conversation, get Secure. And that's the only way you can do it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us again, Alain.
Thanks, Anna. Happy to be here, and see you all next week.